Time for Mitsuru's cliffhanger. Should be done within the next maybe 3-ish parts, I want to say.
Why are there two of her?
I am a shadow. The true self.
It's Miss President's shadow.
I'm taking the real one with me. I'll never let you catch me.
Labrys' double gives me a glare of pure malice before carrying off the original and fleeing the scene. I almost chased after her without thinking, but I stopped myself and reconsidered. That second Labrys, who was that? Everything I thought I knew has been overturned by this turn of events.
What is she? You seem to know.
First, tell me something. Why was she in so much pain? What's all this about Labrys and weapons?
I'm sorry, but that's classified. It's not for civilian ears.
Then I won't tell you anything about her. If you want to know what I know, you have to tell me what you know first.
That may have sounded too much like I don't care if she's in pain. It would be unreasonable to demand that she tells me everything she knows without offering something in return. And she's already seen Labrys' true form, so I give a small sigh.
Well, I suppose you're involved now. Alright, her official name is 5th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. Codenamed Labrys. She is an android weapon created by the Kirijo group years ago. In order to use persona abilities, she was given a heart.
She's a machine? Kuchikawa's shocked expression conveys her thoughts as perfectly as if she'd spoken aloud.
We couldn't let her run free. Just look at the trouble she's caused. We came to retrieve her and minimize any damages.
I hold back no details in telling her of the cruel experiments she must have underwent during her development. Kuchikawa takes it all in and quietly sighs.
So when she said she didn't want to remember, that's what that was about. Hey, why didn't you listen to what she was trying to say? She said that she didn't want to remember, but you kept pushing your demands on her and making her feel bad.
That's...
I pause, considering her accusation. She may be right. Indeed, I was so desperate to put an end to this case that I didn't listen to what Labrys had to say.
You gave her a heart because you needed her to have one, and then kept treating her like that. No wonder she's in pain.
Tears stream from the girl's eyes. As angry as she is, she's crying for Labrys. Even after seeing her true mechanical form and learning that she is a weapon, Kuchikawa has nothing but compassion for Labrys.
Why are you siding with Labrys so much?
I heard her voice a few times. It sounded like it was from her past. She said she was forced to fight when she didn't want to. That she was hurt and afraid.
I see. Kuchikawa had also heard the voice, just as I did, when she used her persona. Kuchikawa slowly tells me about what happened last year, the reason why she came to Inaba. How, due to her career as an idol, she was cut off from those who knew her for who she was, leaving her isolated. How, when she had lost faith in everything, she met people who would believe in her, saving her life.
Someone to believe in, huh?
Hearing that brought up again is a sore point for me.
She's Miss President's shadow.
I tell Kuchikawa the details I had previously said I couldn't reveal.
Fujikawa.
The repressed desires you don't want to admit? Here, they take on a life of their own.
So that's why. Then what's her ultimate goal? Why did she take Labrys?
Shadows. They try to become real. It confronts the original with weaknesses to make them deny that the shadow's part of them. Also, it can take their place.
I see. Then there's no time to lose.
Do you think you can save her? A shadow doesn't disappear until the original person accepts it.
That's why I must believe in her and support her. Even if it's left unsaid, I still understand Kuchikawa's desire. I share it.
Fujikawa, let me amend my earlier statement. I didn't come here just to minimize the damage. I came to save everyone. Will you trust me on that?
She looks into my eyes, and after wiping her face with a handkerchief, she nods slightly.
Make sure you listen to what Labrys wants to say this time, okay?
I fully intend to.
Kuchikawa smiles in embarrassment. She apologizes to me for taking such a spiteful tone. I can tell she's being honest and sincere. Kuchikawa promises to cooperate as much as possible for Labrys' sake. I decide to have her contact her friends and pass on a simple explanation of the situation. She agrees and adds that she'll try to contact Akihiko and Agus as well. She seems to have already grasped how our safeguards against detection by personas work.
Speaking with you made me understand something important. Thank you for that. It must be that smile of yours that catches your audience's heartstrings.
Promise me then. Make sure you come back with her.
Spurred on by her words, I begin running to where I detect Labrys ought to be, though I don't yet have a plan to save her. If I find her again and listen this time, will that truly be enough to save Labrys? Well, considering how many times we've done this, we know she'll be saved. It's just a matter of how it happens with each character. The invisible walls are still here, leading me to the music room. According to the guide map, it should have been further away, but just as with the announcement room, the layout of this version of the school is off.
Who are you?
Uh-oh, we gotta fight you. Someone else is already inside. He frowns upon seeing me. I recognize his face from the video. If the walls are still here, does that mean the Grand Prix rules are still being enforced? As a test, I hold a hand out to the space where I had just entered the room.
It seems we're locked in. The rule against proceeding without fighting is still in effect.
Are you Kirijo-san by any chance? Rise got in touch with me.
I am indeed Mitsuru Kirijo. As I recall, you were the sister no, your name was... Narukami. There doesn't seem to be anything scrambling our senses. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't sense any noise, but it can't hurt to ask. He nods, showing that he understands the question.
Rise told me you were out to save Miss President. Labrys, her name was?
That's right. But I must act swiftly. There's no noise here because our enemy thinks we'll be hesitant to fight in our right minds. Would you mind conceding? I don't want to drag you into this any further.
I understand, but I can't do it like that.
Narukami gives a wry smile before his expression flattens again.
If the rules are still in effect, my friends are still trapped. They still need someone to rescue them. I fought battles I didn't want and taken on a lot of responsibilities, which includes saving Labrys, of course. It's not that I don't believe you, but I don't think it's right to simply hand the burden over to someone I just met.
I see.
Sorry, this must be frustrating to you.
No, don't misunderstand me. I have no objections. I admire your willingness. With the final battle awaiting ahead, perhaps it's best that the stronger of us two should be the one to proceed.
The atmosphere of the area changes. Narukami senses it as well and readies his weapon. Strange, but he reminds me of someone. Oh gee, I wonder who he reminds you of, huh? Although his fight stance, physique, and features are completely different, he still reminds me of the one who saved us, the entire world.
I like the look in your eyes. I will test your resolve with my sword.
You're talking about dear Persona 3 protagonist, eh? Who am I even saving? Oh well, Yosuke, you're gone. I call him that because he doesn't have really an official name at this rate. He's whoever you want him to be. You, Narukami, has an official name. I think in the Persona 3 movies he's called Yuki Makoto, and in the game I don't even remember what he's called. Fifth match, there's gotta be more than one more. Gotta be a lot more. Obviously we're gonna have to fight Mitsuru's shadow. Alright. Well, with Mitsuru, you can kind of go a lot faster. I will admit that.
I'll show you man's potential.
Oh yeah? I just burst it. Oh well. I think Mitsuru's practically cheating when you use her. Yeah, I think it's cheating to use Mitsuru. The Imperious Queen of Executions. Interesting name. Too bad they weren't in the video. There's no reason for them to be.
I've won. I will move on.
I hold out my hand to Narukami, who had collapsed on the floor, and help him up. Fortunately, I won the match. Although in fighting these people, I have come to see them in a new light.
But first, I have something to ask you.
In this world, to encounter another leads to an immediate win or lose situation. That's why I had intended to limit my interactions with others. All I felt regarding these students was regret for dragging them into this mess. But in order to be sure I can save Labrys, I feel that I'll need their help. Since they have more experience with this world, they're most likely closer to settling this.
You said that you want to save Labrys too, but you barely know her. She isn't human and has been through things that aren't easy to understand. What were you going to do for her when you found her?
Narukami quietly closes his eyes before answering.
Nothing in particular, but I could have stood at her side at the very least.
At her side?
A number of things dawn on me with Narukami's words. Though I had resolved the fight by myself, I wasn't truly alone. I had family and friends who supported me, but Labrys was alone. She fought against the same units who shared her fate, and after escaping to this world, she had no one. I see. I understand now. He politely underlined something important I had overlooked. He's not the first to show me a new perspective like this. This warm sensation that spreads within me. I understand now. That's why Narukami reminded me of him.
You really do remind me of an old friend.
I do?
Yes. Though he's more than just a friend. I owe my life to him.
I attempt to contact Kujikawa again. When she responds, I give her another request. She eagerly agrees, and Narukami, who's listening in, nods in satisfaction.
Well then, I'll be going now. To save Labrys.
There is no hesitation now. I have seen what must be done. I must go forth to keep my promise with them. Labrys will be saved. I'm certain of that now. Of course he reminds you of the protagonist. He is the protagonist still. He was eventually given a personality. In order to pursue the escaped shadow, I stop briefly and attempt to locate it with my persona. It's on the move, but it's headed to the... Ah!
Kujikawa, can you hear me? The shadow is headed to the announcement room again.
I've already picked up on her and got out. Also, I've managed to reach your friends. I was just talking to someone named Aegis.
Kujikawa says she's never tried to connect multiple people at once, but with a little practice she's picked up the knack. Her persona support skills are advanced indeed. In contrast to my own inability to contact my friends against this noise without linking my persona to the communicators, she easily located Akihiko and Aegis. Really, she's quite talented.
Aegis, can you hear me? I need you to keep Kujikawa safe.
Understood.
The shadow's presence is nearby. I retrace my steps to the announcement room and throw open the door. I'm ready to end this.
My. You've come. Sorry, but you're too late. You really helped me out, though. You were pretty hard on this girl, weren't you?
The expression drains from Labrys' face as she mutters angrily at herself. The shadow must be hammering at Labrys' psyche in order to have Labrys deny herself.
Look me. We've got a guest. This human's here to take us back. She'll never understand how we feel. A typical human.
Stop! Don't say any more!
Labrys.
I step between Labrys and her shadow and draw my weapon. The shadow looks at me and her face boils over with hatred.
What's this all about? Oh, of course. It would be a problem if she were destroyed while you were retrieving her, huh?
Retrieve? No. This has got nothing to do with me!
How long are you gonna lie to yourself? It's about time you face reality. You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school, having a fighting tournament. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand.
That ain't true!
But it didn't work. Kirito marched in here and spoiled your fun. It's all right, then. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
No! That ain't what I want! You're
Shadow smirk whines at Labrys' protestations.
not me!
Labrys' rejection seems to have crossed some line. I can sense the shadow's power rising dramatically in response to her words.
That's right. I'm myself. I'm free. Even if I'm a misunderstood machine, I'll escape from all this.
Cutscene. We're gonna skip it, of course. And have some
It's gone
fun
berserk.
fighting the shadow.
But there should still be time. I'll make you settle down.
I support Labrys, who slumped over and make my intentions plain.
What's with you, you hypocrite? The way you've been acting pisses me off. How can you be so kind to her? No matter what you do, it won't erase your sins. Fine. Since you're a Kirito, why not tell you exactly what your family did to me? What they made me do?
Shadow thrusts her weapon towards me as if sentencing me to judgment.
Remember those spectating students? What did you think those human-shaped silhouettes were?
For a moment, her unexpected shift in topics catches me off guard.
Those were shadows, too. Shadows of the prototypes you made her destroy.
Well, that was an interesting one. Revelation.
When they were destroyed, their information was transferred to the victor. What's left of their hearts remains deep inside Labrys. That's right. They all have a soul. But because they never fully developed, their shadows helped her play school after they separated from her. Do you see? Those spectators you saw everywhere were her sisters she had to kill at the Kirito group's orders.
I am at a loss for words. I can only stand there speechless.
I haven't forgotten. I'll never let their memories or their pain go. I won't forgive anyone who tries to take my freedom.
Her anger is justified. It's natural for her to hold a grudge after what we did to them.
I acknowledge your anger and grief. Setting things right here is my way of atoning. This fight will release you from your curse once and for all.
I didn't actually expect them to go into the spectating students here, really. That kind of caught me off guard too. Interesting, at least there's a new revelation in doing some of these stories. Alright then. Once again, we're facing against Shadow Labrys. And then we're going to have to fight Labrys under control. Then at some point we're going to have to fight Shadow Mitsuru. She's defending a lot. You stupid! I just want to grab you! Is that so hard? Is that so hard to ask for? Oh well, then I'll just use my sword. Jeez. It's hard to get to her. There we go. It's been hard to keep contact with her because she always seems to back up. Damn, Mitsuru's move can really do some damage there. I guess it's a good thing I'm fighting with her right now, but what happens with Mitsuru against Mitsuru? Then we'll have some trouble, won't we? After a fierce battle, the Shao finally falls silent and stops resisting entirely. I go to elevate Labrys to help bring her around. When she regains consciousness, she looks at me with sorrow and resignation.
Am I gonna be alone again? What am I saying? Of course I am. After all I've done.
No. No one will lock you away, ever again.
Huh?
I thought I had a firm grasp on things. But in the end, all I did was drive you into a corner. I'm sorry.
Why is a Kirito apologizing to a machine? I mean, I hurt people. Dragged them into my own mess. I'm just like I was before. There ain't no reason to forgive me.
That is solely your opinion.
Huh?
Kujikawa, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Is that Rise-san?
That's right. You've met her too, and...
It seems Kujikawa accomplished what I asked of her earlier. I wanted her to use her persona ability to connect the voices of her friends directly to Labrys. Some of them I've met, while some I don't know at all. In truth, some of them may find it hard to forgive Labrys for dragging them into this, even after learning of her circumstances. But I believe in them.
To tell the truth, I only saw you for a second, so I ain't really sure what's going on. But it seemed like you went through a lot. Anyway, hope things start looking up.
It's way too simple. Can't you think of anything better to say?
Hey, it ain't simple at all. I know damn well how tough it is to see a shadow come out of yourself.
Yeah, we've all been through the same thing, so we'd suck pretty bad if we didn't forgive you.
It cost me a lot of trouble, but it was still kind of fun. Kind of.
They know how to accept someone for who they are, regardless of her looks. That's why even though Labrys is a machine, they will surely welcome her. I'm confident of it. And indeed, they respond to Labrys with more warmth than I had thought.
What you saw wasn't the whole picture, right? That's just how our hearts are.
I concur. None of us can cast stones after you've gone through the hardship of facing your shadow.
That aside, I'm just glad you're okay. I was worried about you. I left you alone knowing you couldn't use a persona.
Labrys, when you come back, we should talk.
Senpai's right. And not just us. Sister? Can you hear me? I too would like to talk with you. There's something I'd like to tell you. You may know it already, but still...
The voices chiming in are gentle, kind, and warm. I can't help but be touched as well. My words alone could not have accomplished this.
You guys. Why?
You are a machine, unlike us. That is undeniably true. There will be days to come when you are tormented by solitude and caged by your own weakness. But one thing will be very different. Starting today, you are not alone.
Whether she's machine or human has no bearing on her suffering. To be crushed under her weight of despair, with seemingly no end to the pain, feeling that one cannot go on any longer. I'm no stranger to those feelings myself. It was always someone else, such as friends and family, who saved me. But when you're alone, it's difficult to see a way out. You can't find it unless someone else shows you. That's when you learn the extraordinary power derived from one's relationships. You know, when I think about it, did the protagonist and Mitsuru even have that much of a close relationship to each other? Outside of the social link even? It was mainly her and Yukari that had the close relationship. And that's what brought her out of her despair. Every time any development happened in Persona 3, the protagonist was nowhere to be found in reality.
Companionship is the greatest guide. In my mission here, I've come to be reminded of that. We hope to become that guide for you as well. If you're not alone, you can stand to face the most painful of truths.
Face the truth.
Labrys' gaze turns towards her own shadow. There is no more fear in her eyes. She understands now.
I see. I get it now.
I watch over her as she stands up. No words pass between us, but I am here for her, and that may be enough. We're gonna have that again, so skip it out. Place a bookmark, okay. So at least 2 more battles. At least. Oh, we're already up here, apparently.
Labrys and Kirijo-san!
Welcome back, you guys.
Together with Labrys, we head towards the rooftop where there is supposedly an exit to the real world. A small crowd welcomes us on our arrival. Some of them I haven't met in person. If I recall correctly, the energetic girl with the short hair is Chie Satonaka. The well-built young man must be Kanji Tatsumi. And that must be the real Teddy. His speech is no different from the imposters, but in the absence of that evil demeanor, the real one is much more adorable. All the faces I saw in the video are here, with a smile on everyone.
Whoa! You really are a robot! Hey, can I touch you?
Chie-san, that's a bit impolite. It's hard enough restraining myself already.
You said restrain yourself.
No, I don't see what's so funny about it.
Well,
I give Labrys an encouraging smile. She needn't be afraid to enter their circle. None of them are rejecting her, after all.
I'm sorry I caused you guys trouble.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. That Grand Prix was you, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a half bad idea. Fighting to see who's the strongest man was awesome!
What?
Kanji's right, but you should have invited me, too!
Sorry?
I won't forgive you until you say, I really like you, you big bear of a man. All sexy like that!
Guys, stop making it even worse. Sorry we're starting off like this.
In any case, I'm really glad you're all right.
I got you to thank for that.
They take very naturally to someone who isn't human.
Great job, Mitsuru. But man, talk about a rowdy bunch of students.
Still, they are kind.
I look at Labrys surrounded by new friends. I wish I could join them, but part of me would rather watch over them for now. And there are things I still need to consider.
Is something the matter?
I'm not good at relying on others. My responsibilities are so heavy that I don't even think of trusting others with them. I've been told it before, but it never gets easy.
Why not think of things more simply? When something cannot be accomplished alone, there is no other choice but to trust in others to help. Good or bad, it is inevitable. Then why not accept it and move forward? You aren't alone either, after all.
I can't keep myself from smiling at the truism I never would have come up with.
You're right. It's not difficult at all when put that way. It's just as I was saying about companionship being a guide.
Indeed, I am thankful for my friends. They say the things I cannot and take me outside myself with new perspectives. I'm sure that the same principle will save Labrys from straying from her path. Although, I think again about the case. Now that Labrys is safe, there's another issue. The mastermind was not Labrys, but her shadow. However, her shadow emerged and began to act only after she entered the TV world. It's hard to reconcile with that with Labrys taking the initiative to escape. Come to think of it, there's something else that can't be explained if we assume Labrys was behind everything.
Was Labrys truly the mastermind here?
Huh? What are you getting at?
Why did Labrys choose them? Where did Labrys learn of them?
It's the students of Yasogami High that trouble me. I can't see why Labrys would have selected them. I thought they might have sensed the changes Labrys caused in this world on their own, but no. The video that brought them here called them by name. Not to mention that the shadow took the appearance of General Teddy from the start. Neither would be possible unless she had identified them beforehand.
Even we didn't know about them or about this world inside the TV. How did Labrys discover all this?
Yeah, I can't explain it either.
And I still have my doubts regarding the hijackers' mental state. Their memories were so muddled that they couldn't even explain themselves. Do Labrys' abilities extend that far? The more I think about it, the more questions arise. There must be some larger plan at work here after all.
Well, the fastest way to find out is to just ask her. Hey, Labrys!
Akihiko.
Akihiko's loud voice catches not only Labrys' attention, but the high schoolers as well. I had hoped to keep them away from this since they were innocent bystanders. Akihiko seems to not to notice my irritated glare.
When did you wake up? How did you find out about the TV world?
About this place?
Labrys abruptly stops moving, just before starting to convulse and taking a leap backwards. It happened so suddenly that even the students standing some distance away raised their voices in alarm.
Labrys!
Get back!
As soon as Akihiko cries out, Agus runs toward the students to protect them. I keep a careful eye on Labrys, whose face has gone blank, and put some distance between us. My fears have been realized. Labrys reaches for the axe on her back and swings it without hesitation.
Is she malfunctioning? No! Someone's hijacked her!
What?
If we're all here, the shadow is defeated, and someone is still hijacking her, then...
I know you're there. Who are you? Show yourself.
I expected a response, but the source of my answer came as a shock.
Show myself? How cold. You treat me as if I were a stranger.
That voice!
Full of darkness emerges from one of the nearby shadows forming. Whoa, okay. Okay, yeah, I got it.
No way! Kirijo-san's shadow?
It's loading something. What's it loading? Just more dialogue? Basically. It has my appearance, my face, and yet I don't see it. It's me in every way, save for the unnatural gleam in its golden eyes and the mocking expression it makes.
Do you not recognize your own face? I am you.
Still, my heart is calm. In fact, her appearance may be giving me more clues as to the enemy's intentions.
You seem to have a penchant for deception. Unfortunately, I already know that you're the mastermind here. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers. Very good. No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. Yes, I want them even more now.
You want them? Explain yourself.
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
Who are you?
Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Stand, my puppet.
The shadow ignores my taunts and raises its right hand toward Labrys, still collapsed on the ground. Labrys reacts to the gesture by rising up, like a puppet with no will of its own.
You bastard. This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Labrys obeys the Shadow's command and leaps forward to attack. It seems the enemy will do anything to rattle us. I understood that. But understanding it and forgiving it are two different things.
We'll just knock her out one more time.
No, don't attack her. Further damage to Labrys could put her in danger.
But, come on! She's all over us! Ah!
Now, may you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas.
At that moment, I hear a voice whisper in my mind.
Huh?
I stop in spite of myself. I know this voice well. Relief washes over me to hear it. This match will end in our victory. I call to everyone assembled.
Don't listen. Everyone concentrate on avoiding her attacks.
But we can't do that forever.
Just try and hang in there. Trust me. I trust in you.
I realize that this is an impossible demand. Everyone is already exhausted by what's come before. Still, I need to buy time. Surprisingly, the first to nod is neither Akihiko nor Agus.
Everyone, we can take this much. Yosuke, you ready?
Hell yeah, partner. Let's let Mitsuru-san do her thing.
Hanamura and the others recover from their confusion at once when Narukami speaks. Interesting. He seems to be a great leader.
Akihiko, Agus, back them up.
You got it.
No one will force my sister to hurt others ever again.
You had best hurry and decide. Who will be destroyed? The shell or the lot of you?
The Shao laughs triumphantly to see us driven against the wall. She's acted like a god. She's much too short-sighted for that. I sense what I've been waiting for. We bought enough time.
Sad to say, but this show is over. What?
We don't even get to fight Labrys under control in this one. How interesting. Labrys comes to a halt and is released from the Shadow's control. She must have been forced to exceed her limits, for she falls to the floor as if her strings had been cut. We didn't attack her at all, yet she's left unable to so much as break her. But she's left unable to so much as break her fall. A chill goes down my spine to imagine what could have happened if we fought her at our full strength.
Looks like you made it in the nick of time. You saved us, Yamagishi.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san.
So you had a third assistant.
That voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in reality too?
She responded at the perfect moment to my earlier phone call asking her to come at once. Yamagishi had a bit of initial difficulty dealing with a world so alien to her, but she adjusted quickly enough. Though she's far away, I can sense that we're under her protection.
It's just as you thought, Mitsuru-senpai. The enemy is only mimicking your appearance. It's a fake.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away. So these are the limits of a half-broken puppet. Well, no matter. This was only ever for my own enjoyment. You despicable monster! I didn't expect you to fight back this hard. But didn't you have fun? You were all taken in by an illusion. This place, these traps, everything came from your own minds. You dread yourselves most of all. A beautiful plan, wasn't it? Your idea of beauty is rather warped, as is your plan and your assessment of us. But your biggest mistake was that you took my form in the end.
I take a step forward. Seeing this, Akihiko and Agus take a step back. They know me well. They can see the signs of the anger boiling within me.
Are you angry? Alright, I'll play along. The show must go on, right? Don't say another word while wearing that face. I'll teach you just who it is you've made an enemy of!
They're gonna burn that dread, alright. Not that I really know what it means anyway. Other than it's a song from Persona 3. I should check my battery. How's the battery going? That's fine. I know, we're to do that right now. I meant to do that earlier. 7th match. I didn't say final match. Yeah, Mitsuru versus Mitsuru, and I forgot who I was quickly. I took more damage because of that. Yeah, well, there we go. Ugh. How you like that, huh? Now let's get this thing going. Boom. Alright then. Oh, what was that? Damn you. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! I'm dead, aren't I? Alright, no playing around here. I was gonna try and imitate some of her fancy moves, but that would have been a big mistake. Look how much little energy I came out with. Oh boy. I was gonna say, hey, she's using fancy moves. Why don't I try too? No, 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 don't do that ever again.
Check. This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
It shall last, as if defeat mattered to it not at all.
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance. But sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. All that irritates me is having to feign cooperation with that foolish human until I obtain the one true vessel.
Foolish human?
I will see you and another guy's next time. Just wait until then. The real you will face the same consequences soon. Choose your last words carefully.
Its laugh echoes throughout the room as the shadow borrowing my form disappears into thin air.
Yamagishi!
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Another guys, huh?
Don't even think about coming around here again!
What are we up against? Our enemy seems to be targeting Persona users.
Seems that not even they know who the enemy is. Though I didn't expect they would. The enemy had extensive knowledge of Labrys, something even I didn't have. There's no denying it. Whoever did this is well versed in the Kirijo group's internal workings. Gathering powerful shadows, now we know the enemy's general aim. But what do they plan to do with them? None of that matters at the moment, I suppose. I signal to Akihiko. Akihiko catches it and turns towards the students.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course. You should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
But...
I don't expect them to like my answer. But the reason I started the Shout Octopus is to protect people from these things. The students, they're still young. Granting my permission would only mean them becoming more inexorably involved. That's an odd word I very rarely see. We should be the ones to take responsibility.
Guys, let's leave this to them.
You can...
Are you serious?
They're right that we need to go back for now. We're all at our limit.
When Narukami signals to him, Hanamura's complaints fall suspiciously silent. That hardly fooled anyone. Either they take me for an imbecile, or think it won't matter even if I do catch on. I suppose I can live with it. If they are that determined, I am no one to dissuade them. We'll have to take care of everything before they can involve themselves, that's all. Teddy jumps around, his footsteps sounding highly unnatural to catch our attention.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy Vision. You can get out from here.
They exchange banter, as if the recent problems are already long past. So that they can continue to be so carefree that we must fight. Moreover...
How's Labrys?
There wasn't much damage to her motor functions. I don't believe it will take much time to repair her. Still, the stress on her cognitive functions must have been severe. It may take some time for her to awaken.
Agus gazes sadly at Labrys' moving form in her arms. We must also fight to prevent anyone else from being hurt like these two. This case is over for the time being. It's time to say our farewells to this world. but a newfound resolve to fight is surging within me. But we're not done yet. I'm leaving these parts a bit shorter sometimes because it just helps me out. Ooh, fancy! Inaba Hotel. Where does Inaba have a hotel that's so fancy? Even after we return to the real world, there is no rest for the weary. After action reports on the case, investigation leads on the culprit. There's a mountain of things to do.
Here you go, Mitsuru-san.
Ah, thank you.
After issuing instructions, I'm ready to take a break when Aga serves me a cup of tea with perfect timing. The fresh scent of Darjeeling, I take a moment to savor the mellow aroma of muscat. That's right, spring is nearly over. I feel like I can barely keep track of the seasons anymore.
We will be leaving Inaba tomorrow. Keep that in mind when making preparations.
Understood.
We're rather limited here in this hotel room. Originally, I had intended to return today. We're all so tired that we had to stay the night. There is also Labrys' condition to consider. Still, mulling it all over, I hear a knock on at the door.
It's me, Fuka.
Come in. I'm sorry I had to summon you on such short notice.
Oh no, it's all right. I was on vacation too, after all.
How is Labrys?
She's still resting. There was a lot of stress on her, so we might have to carry her out.
I see.
Yamagishi takes a nearby chair. There's weariness in her eyes.
I looked into the records. Labrys was built on a self-contradicting foundation.
Self-contradicting?
Unlike with Aegis, when Labrys was being developed, no one had the know-how to create a personality from scratch. So, it seems like they took an actual girl's personality and used it as a base.
A living girl. So that's why her heart is unexpectedly advanced.
Yamagishi nods.
But if she had all of the original girl's memories, a contradiction would occur in her self-awareness. Normally they'd make adjustments to prevent that, but even then, they couldn't guarantee it would be completely safe. That's why Labrys was loaded with a self-deceiving function, in case a conflict arose in her self-awareness.
She was deceiving herself? Then the function that interfered with our perception...
It was listed as meant for infiltration, but that was a technicality. Its true purpose was a safety mechanism.
She was given a heart presupposing that it would cause conflicts with her self-awareness. I silently begged the heavens for forgiveness at the cruelty and injustice performed upon her.
I think that should be okay now.
A hesitant voice comes from outside.
Labrys! When did you get here? Sorry to sneak up on you, but after I faced my shadow and learned how to use my persona, it's hard to explain. But it felt like my emotions settled down. Actually, that may be what happened. Facing one's shadow could be said to be correcting one's self-awareness.
That must be it. Your developers came to the decision that it was an insurmountable problem, yet you overcame it.
I approached Labrys and stroked her head. She fidgets, her eyes cast slightly downward.
How do you feel? Does anything seem off?
Oh, no! You guys have treated me so well, I feel kind of guilty about it. My body's all fixed up too, so there shouldn't be any problems there.
I see.
Labrys' expression seems gentle. She appears to be mentally stable. I doubt there's any danger of her losing control again.
I wanted to talk to you about where we go from here.
From here? You mean, about me?
Originally, we planned to take you back to the lab on Yakushima, but that was when we still thought of you as a mere object. Is that what you want to happen?
What else is there? You could tell us what you yourself want. You do have a heart, just like us. Who knows? Maybe you could even go to school eventually. Me? Go to school?
Even Aegis has been to school, and that was when she knew much less about the world than you know now.
Thinking back to that time is, it's rather embarrassing.
Surprisingly, Labrys falls silent into thought. To live a life no different than anyone else's. That must be exactly what she wants. Should I tell her there's no need to worry about living expenses? No, best to wait for her decision. She should be the one to decide on her future. After a long silence, Labrys speaks up again.
School. It sounds great. But I feel like there's something I gotta do first. I mean, yeah, it's been my dream for a long time to go to school, but someone's after those guys. Someone's trying to wreck their lives. I want to catch whoever it is myself. I want to look after those guys.
Rather than being with them, She chose to protect them. It's a beautifully selfless decision. She thought for herself and chose her own path. I see no reason to deny her that.
The Security Department Shadow Response Unit would be glad to have you. Welcome to the team, Labrys.
I extend a hand. If she takes it, she'll be putting ordinary life on hold for a while. I know she understands that, but she takes it anyway.
I get to work with you, sister. I guess that reminds me. I am your younger sister, but I am more experienced than you. This may be somewhat confusing.
Though the two sisters are a bit awkward around each other, now, a new bond will form there as well. Labrys made her own choice not to live an ordinary life. You could say that she is truly facing herself. She'll be alright. Seeing the two of them together makes me sure of it.
I'll give you a tour of the lab tomorrow. Make sure you're ready to write things down.
Tomorrow? We're leaving Inaba already? I haven't even said goodbye. I can't leave without seeing him one more time. Oh, that's good to hear. It means you've made some friends.
I turn to Agus.
Igus, get in contact with them by whatever means you deem necessary.
Understood. How should I contact them? I only know their names.
Yamagishi, your usual method should prove effective once again.
Huh? But isn't that invading their privacy?
Permission granted. Remember, we have official sanction to operate now.
And after how they acted when we were parting, we'll definitely need their contact information. They won't sit quietly by, I'm sure. This matter is still open after all. The mystery remains unsolved and there are still worries nagging at me. But that's not the only legacy of this case.
I'll help look them up too.
Labrys breaks into a smile and takes Agus' side at the computer. The bonds that gave her that smile, they will light our unseen path. There's no knowing yet where the case might lead. But the day that we stop in our tracks, too afraid to continue, will never come. And that's the end of Mitsuru's? Yep, I believe so. And she is the executioner, maybe, her trophy? That's a big guess I'm taking. Executioner? I really don't know.
Welcome
90%
to the
done.
Velvet Room. This place exists between dream and reality.
The Queen. Okay, the Queen.
Now then.
Well, anyway,
To introduce
let's
yourself.
back out right now. Next time is going to be finishing with Agus' story again. Because we already did Agus' story. Get it? Get it? I always bring that up. And then the last one will be Elizabeth for sure. See you next time.